I said something about children are in peril, which children are in fucking peril. They're being trafficked nonstop. The Democrats know about it. They don't want to talk about it because they're in on it. Everything, it's like the mafia. Nothing is what you think it is. Welcome to the Jamby Show. Welcome back, as Mr. Carter once said. Welcome back, Carter. Some of you young people would not know what that was. He had an afro, taught John Travolta. Anyway, Ryan is off. He doesn't know he's off. He will when he sees the show on his phone. He's smuggling children across the Mexican border right now, as far as I know. I don't know. We just had to get the show on the road, and here we are once again. A lot is happening. Basically, America, we're fucked. Joe Biden has just run this country into the ground deeper than it's ever been. And the fact that the whole left does not see any of this, or they just don't want to see it, I'm not sure. But you have to be just mentally retarded not to understand that this country's in fucking danger. They're coming over the border in droves, and now Title 42 is going to be up in a matter of days, and then it's like a big pimple, and it's ready to burst, and it's bursting everywhere. And Joe's he's been in hiding. He doesn't talk anymore to do press conferences. Then when he announced he was going to do a press conference, it was a surprise to everybody. And then he ended up just doing a little interview on MSNBC. He was asked about Hunter, and once again in Joe Biden fashion, says Hunter is innocent of everything. And it's basically the same view that all the Democratic people have, is nothing's going wrong, everybody's great. It's a sweep everything under the rug country with the Democrats. And the money is basically gone. You can't keep printing money, and the debt limit is skyrocketing. Banks are just jacked. People are panicking. And everything that he's done, all he cares about is global warming. Listen, people, everybody who is worried about global warming, stop. Just stop. Fuck global warming, okay? That's the least of our worries. The planet's going to do whatever the fucking planet wants to do, whether we have emissions of this, that, or the other thing. And it's John Kerry said in 2002, I believe, that we had 10 years until we were underwater. Well, hello, John Kerry. We're here. You're stupid. So, it's that and guns. I got into a debate on somebody on Facebook who's a pro-Democrat. Calls me a Trumpy. Damn fucking right, I'm a Trumpy. And the mindset of this person just told everything I needed to know about the left. So anyway, she goes to, I say that kids are in peril, and she agrees with that, but goes straight to, well, she attacked my faith. She attacked my Republican beliefs. And she also went from children are in peril to, well, it's because of the guns. Fuck you, people, with your gun weirdness. It's not the fucking guns. You know what? I can take a samurai sword, go to the mall right now, and lop off at least 8 fucking heads before anybody gets to me. And what are they going to outlaw? Samurai swords? No, you're stupid. Shut up. And the push for the EVs. I don't think y'all know how the EVs run. That will be more damaging to anything. And right now, you have to get cobalt for the batteries for the EVs. Cobalt is found in Africa, and China right now is basically running Africa. And children are mining hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of workers slaving. Basically, slaving is back in Africa because they're mining up to 4 years old and older are digging in the dirt for cobalt to make Joe Biden's EVs. Whoop-de fucking do. So now this is okay. Child labor is okay. Slavery is okay. Fentanyl across the border is okay. All this bullshit's okay. And nobody cares. And I find it funny. Everything that's happened gets swept under the rug. Remember Palestine, East Palestine, the train? Well, those people are still suffering. The reports just came out that a lot of people are having major health problems with the respiratory system. Biden never even went there, doesn't care. Buttigieg was fucking 3 weeks late. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't care. So it's just basically one bullshit statement after another. Then you have a group like The View with fucking Whoopi Goldberg, Whoopi fucking Oldberg, and fucking Joy Blowhart. That's what I fucking call her. How do these people get these jobs anyway? Why are they knowing of jack crap? And I feel like Whoopi and Joy betrayed the whole fucking comedic realm, the world of comedy and comedians, because of their fucking stupid ass views, and their wokeism is ridiculous. Did they forget they were comedians? They were fucking comedians. And now they're talking about how all these things are fucking offensive. We don't want to offend this and we don't want to offend that. That is comedy. It's called jokes. And we've had that around for millions of years. And now you got to censor what the fuck you say. Fuck that shit. I do not like where any of this is going. Today's show brought to you by O'Doul's. Does absolutely nothing. Tastes good though. I did quit drinking a year and 4 months ago. So been sober. It's been an awesome change of life. And it's a good one. Way better. But do I miss drinking? Sure. Who wouldn't? It was glorious when it was fun, but it was a lot of bad times too. So, but the funny part of that is when I quit drinking, I lost all my weight. It was all the alcohol just ran off me. And I was like, oh shit, I'm in great shape for the first time in years. And I discovered cake, and cake is delicious. And so is Milky Way bars. And now I'm fat again. But a natural fat, which I think is better than an alcoholic fat, which I had. So we're going to go with that for now, as I have a natural, healthy fat going on. So, but not back to Joe Biden, not a lot of challengers for him. He's losing in the polls drastically. Democrats don't even want him to run now because he doesn't know where he's at. It's sad for him. But I think it's fucking disgusting of his wife and his family to parade this guy who obviously has dementia and needs to just go home and sit and stare at the fucking bird feeder for fucking hours and pat him on the head and call it a day. Because he can't be the fucking president of the United States. We're close to war. China fucking, they're just laughing at us. I mean, it's ridiculous. They are just fucking laughing at us. We are not the superpower. If you thought we were, yes, we once were. Now we are not. China is running the show, and they're gaining allies. Everybody who was with us is like, fuck America. What can they do? They're fighting their transgender equality bullshit. That's all they care about. And fucking, how are you going to get electric cars for everybody and no gas stoves anymore? Which is fucking ridiculous. Gas stoves, really? So every great chef in the world who only cooks with gas has to fucking just give up his career or fucking learn how to do with on electric. That's some stupid ass shit. They'd have to relearn cooking because all the temperatures are fucking different. So it's all going fucking bad with the Democrats. Praise God that Trump wins. Praise God that he wins. Because if Trump does not win, we are fucking doomed. We are so screwed. And I don't even know if the old Donster can get us out of the mess we're so deep in. I mean, this is a hole. We're not talking about like, a little bit of like when George Bush left a big fucking hole. But George just did it with style. He's like, hey, you don't see George Bush hanging out anymore. You don't see, maybe sometimes when they get all the living presidents together, but George retired and said, I know I fucked everything up. I'm going home to Texas. He said, fuck all this shit. But this is a deep fucking hole Trump would have to get us out of. But I know he can. He's a smart, because now we're going to need a smart businessman. Because financially, this country is so fucking under the fucking thumb right now. It is like just ready to crack. The dollar might not be worth shit. People are buying gold, which is smart, but I think, you hold out, you see what happens. It's basically gambling. We're gambling now because if you wait too long, you're fucked. If you do something and nothing happens, then you're kind of fucked. You're just going to Rayleigh's with a fucking, here's my bar of gold. I just want some salads. That'll screw people around. Anyway, I don't know. JFK Jr. is running, and I like him. I'm not a Democrat, but I like him because he says a lot of things that his uncle did and stood for. The thing I worry about him is if he gets a good run going and everything, he's a fucking Kennedy. Somebody's gonna. There hasn't been an assassination in forever or an attempt. Somebody, just because he's a Kennedy, is gonna whack him. There's something about Kennedys in office. They're just, oh shit, Kennedy, whack. The only one that got away with it was Ted, and Ted's a sketchy motherfucker too. But that's probably why he didn't get whacked, because he was. Who knows? Ted might have not liked his brother so much. I don't know. That's an alleged thing. Who knows? Who cares? It's over and done with. But yeah, I don't. And then there's the lady who she's very herbal. She's bring some crystals to the White House and make everything better. So it's Trump or disaster, basically. But I don't know. You can tell Democrat. I would like them to at least see what everybody else is seeing, but I talk to my friends who are Democrats, and I see people online who are Democrats, and it's like they don't know or they don't believe it. It's like, there's the one guy out there who swears he fucking saw Bigfoot and nobody believes him. It's like a whole bunch of people like that who are Democrats. They just don't believe shit. It's like the neighbor who rats you out for, noise or whatnot, instead of being cool and being like, oh, they're having a party. Maybe it's a birthday party or something. No, you got the people who got to call the cops and do all that bullshit. It's the way the Democratic Party thinks. I don't get it. And fucking whales and shit are washing up on shore now. All kinds of whales because of the fucking wind turbine deals they got in the ocean. It's fucking up the whales. The noise from it, they're like, oh shit. It's all sensory for fucking whales. And they get fucking all out of whack, and now they're dying and washing up on shore. Here's the weird part. Where's PETA? Where's Greenpeace? Where are these big companies? Because years ago, you'd have a whale wash up on the beach, and you'd have fucking Greenpeace or Peter or someone out there, some animal rights group, and they'd be singing Kumbaya and crying and trying to save the motherfucker. Now there's all kinds of fucking whales washing up, and they ain't a damn motherfucker one of them out there. And I'll tell you why. It's because they're getting paid off by major corporations through the wind turbines. And so you keep everybody's pocket lined. Everybody shuts the fuck up, turns blind eye. That is how shit is running now. It's crooked as fucking Congress. Everything's fucking crooked. Biden won't meet with McCarthy to try to figure out this debt ceiling. So nobody will work together. So, and then you get the Fruit Loop, who is the secretary, and she answers dick, just fucking gets all flustered. Peter Ducey asks her all the fucking important questions, and she doesn't even answer anything. She's, the president works very hard on that. He doesn't work hard on shit. He's sleeping half the time. Even when he's awake, he's asleep. I don't know what she's coming out, and she will not answer a question. How do you not answer any questions? And that's your job, is to answer questions. hey, this is what your job is. We want you to go out there, and we want you to answer questions. All right, got it. And then she goes out there and fucking nothing. We're working. We're working on it. Nobody's work. No, I figured this out the other day. Nobody's really doing anything about anything, because I looked back, like the Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. It was the tapes. We got these tapes. It's got all these celebrities on it, and we got a list. They do have the list. They have the flight manifest fucking list, right? So you got all these celebrity names. Fucking Tom Hanks, Spielberg. Which Spielberg, I think, is in some hot water because there's some child actors coming out saying he's a fucking pedophile. I don't doubt it. Hollywood's fucking evil anyway. So anyway, you got this fucking Epstein list. Remember that? It was like all in the news. Who are these celebrities? Oh, we got the tapes. Fucking, how long has it been? Where are the tapes? So now you have the Hunter Biden documentations, the files and shit, and you have shit that they're saying, the whistleblower. We have a whistleblower now. And he's saying, okay, I got everything. I got the whole fucking family, which means Joe's going down, Hunter's going down, fucking the Chin, Joe's brother's going down, everybody's going down. Fucking Jill Biden, the whole works, because they are crooked as fuck. They are so fucking crooked, it ain't even funny. But here's the thing again. This is Comer talking. He's like, oh, we got it. I swear to God, we'll never fucking see it. I figured this out. They just juice you up that they got this fucking, finally, we got the motherfucker. They're all going down the whole Biden, which would be phenomenal. It'd be the greatest day of any Republican's life, and it would be one of the greatest days of my life. One of them. Just to look at my friends' faces and go, you're so stupid. I told you, but you didn't listen. You're stupid. And I like to be right. That's just how I am. But that would be great. But guess what? It's been, I want to say 2 weeks now of the, we got it. Wait till it comes out. Nothing. There's been nothing. It's like, I think there's a room somewhere and they open this little fucking cabinet. There's Epstein with the fucking videotapes of fucking Tom Hanks licking some little boy's balls and fucking everybody else, fucking Kevin Spacey, and they're just going to put that one right next to that. Oh, there's all the evidence against the Bidens. We'll just slip it in here. And then poof, it's gone. That's what happens to everything. But if it's anything, if Trump said, I don't know, 20 years ago, oh, that guy looks gay, that would be all over the news. They'd be saying we should prosecute him like fucking Alan Bragg in New York City. That guy doesn't have shit. He knows he doesn't have shit. That's why the postponement, everything's not until I think September is the actual trial, because he needed time. He needs all that time to try to find anything, because he knows he has nothing. It's the most dragged out, and it's just political. It's just to fuck him up during his campaign, because he's trying to run a campaign with all these fucking people coming at him with darts. For what? And how do you hate a man that much that you would want the country to suffer, for children to suffer, for to be weakened by all our enemies? Portland just decriminalized the fact that you can just camp out. The homeless people and the migrants can just pitch tent anywhere. Kids' parks filling up with who knows who, drug dealers, probably, maybe, who knows, maybe just people that are on down and out in their luck. But now you can't take little Billy or little Sally to the fucking jungle gym at the park because it's tent city. That's not the answer. They're coming over the border in droves, and with fentanyl. Just in the 72 hours, they busted, what they have, like 60 pounds of cocaine, multiple weapons they seized, 40 pounds of fentanyl. The numbers might be a little skewed, but it was a lot of the heroin, bunch of other shit that they caught at the border. That was just in 72 hours. And it was a gang of shit. All bad, all fucking kill you shit. Just coming over. And that's what they caught. But there's droves of them coming over that aren't being caught. And a lot of men, I saw the line today, it's mostly men, no families. What does this tell you? Castro did this to Florida, back to Miami, way back. He sent over all his worst people. He emptied out his jails. Why wouldn't Mexico do the same thing in South America? They're saying, hey, we'll let you out, but you ain't staying in Mexico. But you can go to America. Borders are open, because those motherfucking borders are fucking open. And I don't care what the little binder-headed idiot secretary, she's like, oh, it's down 90% crossing. No, what? 90%? What math is that? It is not down. It is up, and it is crazy. And Title 42 ends, and then everybody's coming. I had an idea. So why don't we just, nobody goes to New Mexico. You ever notice nobody talks about New Mexico? Why don't we just give them New Mexico? Be like, hey, I know old Mexico sucked, but how about New Mexico? That could be the pitch. I like it. New Mexico, because who goes to New Mexico? I don't know. There's New Mexico State, I think, maybe, is there. I know they have a football team. That's all I know about New Mexico. But I don't know. New York City, toast. Mayor Adams, the guy who thinks that meat is is causing the population in New York City, and he wants everybody to stop eating meat. Yeah, that's gonna do it, there, buddy. Hey, that global warming will end only in New York City if they all stop eating meat. This is the stupidest freaking mayor I've ever known. And it's every city that is crumbling is a Democratic city, usually ran by a Democratic governor. Mr. Gavin Newsom, thank you for ruining California. You've done a swell job. It's been brilliant. But you have good hair. That's what you got going for you. If Gavin Newsom gets in, here's the thing. The Democrats don't have anybody, and Joe can't run. They're figuring this out. Joe fucking just can't run. There's no fucking way he can do it. And now they're kind of in a panic because they don't like the two that are running, the JFK Jr. and frick, I keep forgetting her name, but nice lady. Um, so they don't want them either, and they don't really want Kamala because she's kind of a dingbat, and yeah, so they're not sold on Kamala. Nobody's saying, hey, we should put in Kamala. No, nobody in the Democratic Party is saying let's go Kamala. Um, so they're gonna have to come up with somebody, and I dollars for donuts. Say grab Gavin Newsom and say, hey, you can talk, you got the hair and all that whatnot, but holy crap! I mean, what would he have a leg to stand on? All Trump would have to do is go up and down California and start with Frisco, where he was the mayor, and now he's the worst city in fucking California. So that would suck. Um, but yeah, I want to see Biden. I want to see Biden debate. Is he gonna? He's got a debate, right? Can you imagine Joe up there against Donald Trump? That'll be the best fucking thing I've ever seen. Just seeing Joe trying to decipher what the fuck Trump just said is gonna be magical. And like, and then what? It's gonna be great. And all he'll be able to mumble out is global warming. Global warming. That's all. That's all he's gonna be able to do. EV cars. Stupid. I don't know. Entertainment news: Guardian of the Galaxy 3 just came out, and I had the pleasure of seeing it.
What was the? There's like a controversial thing about There's like a graphic scene in the movie or something that people are freaking out about right now. It's on like the top news
A
articles.
graphic scene.
Is there anything like graphic for the age? Because it's 13 and up is the age limit. It's PG-13.
Oh,
It was
he said fuck.
really that's it.
Yeah, he
Does
said
he not usually say that?
no.
Ah,
No, they don't cuss a lot in any of the Marvel, and it actually surprised me. Yeah,
mm,
he told Nebula, he said, "Open the fucking door."
oh,
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh,
that's probably why.
Peter Quill, Star Lord said fuck." Yeah, actually, Christy picked up on it, and she was like, "Yeah." When I heard that, I was wondering, "Oh my god, are there kids in here?" you know.
Yeah,
And I was like, I didn't really think of if there was kids, but yeah, if there were, I'm sure it was freaking Guardians of the Galaxy. And there
they're
was
probably
kids.
just
Yeah,
playing.
like, oh yeah, he said duck, getting the duck in the car,
Yeah.
little Billy. No, but overall it was entertaining. Nebula was too human, if that makes sense. Usually she's like, okay, we're gonna have to do that. But this time she was like a ranting. She's like Malcolm in the Middle's mom when she's angry, and she did that throughout the movie. And I was like, oh, they ruined her. And then these bad soldier guys, they're in these suits and they're pink and puffy, and they were the worst battle suits I've ever seen. They look like pink bubble gum puffy, basically like a grub in the fucking forest. Those fat grubs, they look like fat grubs, and I'm like, oh, what is that? So that was kind of a downer. Overall, it was good, but he'll be back. Peter Quill will, but it kind of showed who's going to be the new Avengers. Um, I don't want to give too much away, but I kind of did. And then what happened was, uh, it was it. I would pick the first two before and put this one last in the trilogy. I am excited about the Avengers new one where they're all fucking in it because the bad guy from the last Ant Man, Quantumania, um, he survived, and he like this guy is worse than Thanos, so he's gonna try to take over Earth, and they need for this guy they need every fucking Avenger. So I mean, I'm talking Iron Man. Yeah, you thought Tony Stark was dead? No, he ain't dead. Iron Man's gonna be there. Thor, you name it. Fuck, the people that you thought were dead, they're gonna. Everybody's got to fight. They're bringing Ghost Rider fucking in. Hopefully it's Nick Cage. That'd be awesome. Fantastic Four's in it. So basically, every Marvel fucking character is gonna fight this one dude. So that's gonna be hopefully the greatest thing I've ever watched. 'Cause I thought Endgame was the greatest one, even though it made me sad because it was, Endgame and Tony Stark died. I'm a big Tony Stark fan. Um,
He's really giving out the whole movie.
I know, but yeah, I'm excited about that one because every fucking Marvel person, even ones that aren't normally in the Avenger movies at all, like Ghost Rider. I mean, how cool is that? Maybe Howard the Duck's in it. Howard the Duck might be in it, which nobody knows is a powerful fucking Avenger. He just is an observer, but Howard the Duck actually is a badass if you look through the archives. You'd never know that Howard the Duck was a badass. Well, because he's, like fucking tattoo from Fantasy Island tall. Troy DeBone tall. Right about here. Um, but yeah, oh man. So speaking of movies, I saw The Pope's Exorcist with Russell Crowe. Dude, that shit. Now, scary movies do not scare me. And a few of them have like raised some hairs and where I went, oh, okay. This one definitely did that. This little motherfucking possessed boy, Henry, and it's a true story too. Fucking real, true fucking story. This little bastard was the evilest mouth motherfucker I've ever heard, man. The shit that this little kid said in a hellaciously evil Satan voice was horrible. I mean, this kid had to do some acting. Like, his parents had to sign off on this because he says some horrendous shit, man. A lot of F bombs out of this kid's mouth. And he's like fucking shit, like 9 years old. He's not even not a teenager. And yeah, it raised the hairs on the back of my neck. Not that I have hair on the back of my neck. That's gross. But if I did, they were up. It was Russell Crowe. He's a badass actor. I dig everything. I heard he's going to do another Gladiator, but it might be called Fattiator. Because if you haven't seen Russell in a while, Russell looks like me with armor on, which would be a funny fucking sight. Yeah, it I don't know. Maybe he's got a little gladiator, like little Maximus Aurelius. That could be it. Oh, also in entertainment news, Lethal Weapon 5 with Mel Gibson. He's directing it. I love the Lethal Weapons. Love Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson's great fucking guy, great actor. Yeah, so Riggs and Murtaugh will be back. Murtaugh, Donald Glover. He's Donald Glover was old when they did like Lethal Weapon 1. So, but where it is, Donald Glover is going to be there as Sergeant Murtaugh. So, I don't know. Mel's in good shape. So, Mel's like Stallone and those motherfuckers. Just still in great. Speaking of Stallone, too, he's coming out with Rambo fucking 6. That what? Rambo 6 and the new Expendables is coming out also. I fucking love the Expendables. I don't know if he's got any new people. He won't can't get his Seagal. Seagal turns him down all the time. Um but Seagal's fat also. So I don't know. What other action guys can he put in that are relevant? He had one of the Hemsworth brothers in there, but that guy died in like the beginning of the movie in Expendables 2. Yeah, so I don't know. It'd be weird if you got the other Hemsworth brother. They look the same. But yeah, those guys make great movies. But yeah, poor Bruce Willis, man, he's the brain is just going on him. He saw him in a video. He had like teeth out. When my dad had dementia, uh, he did the same thing. He all of a sudden he would just have his teeth out. It was fucking weird. Hey, Pop, you know, what are you doing? He thought it was funny. And then I see the Bruce Willis video, and I'm like, oh, it must be a thing. You just take your teeth out when I guess you don't care anymore. You're like, fuck it. I'm taking these fucking front ones out and freak out the neighbors. If you didn't do it, do it. So that NFL news, obviously, Aaron Rodgers is a Jet finally after fucking 37 months of waiting for the contract to be done. I think he milked it out on purpose to announce that it was signed during draft week. Take a little shine away from draft week, a little shine on Aaron Rodgers. Sounds like him. He's having a little ayahuasca, having a little waska time for Aaron Rodgers. Zach Wilson keeps talking shit too. The backup. Well, now the backup, because Zach Wilson, first of all, is the shits. And he's like, I'm going to make his life a living hell. What? It's fucking Aaron Rodgers. He's a Hall of Famer. He's not even retired yet, and he's a Hall of Famer. But interesting news through the grapevine, Tom Brady backed out of his $50 million Fox contract to be in the broadcast booth just recently. Ooh, why would Tommy Brady back out of a $50 million contract about retirement? Because that was his retirement plan. Could it be that maybe Tommy's coming back one more time again and again? And I would say, what team out there is just fucking quarterback away from running the fucking table? And I'll tell you, and it kills me to tell you because it's not my fucking beloved Raiders. We need a lot of help. Tom can't save the fucking Raiders. I wish he could, but he can't. The fucking 49ers, the San Francisco fucking 49ers, they are built to win. Now, Purdy, if Purdy doesn't get hurt, that kid would have won the game and beat the Eagles and won the Super Bowl. If Purdy doesn't get hurt. But he did. Tommy doesn't get hurt, and Purdy's not going to be ready to play right away. He's still getting over that elbow surgery. So, and they got who knows what in Trey Lance, and then they got Sam fucking Darnold, which we know what you get with Sam fucking Darnold, a giant forehead. And his forehead's so big, you can film a fucking movie off of it with a projection TV. There's a big ass head. So anyway, Purdy's who they want. I think they've given up on Trey Lance. So what perfect fit? Tom Brady. Santa Clara is where his parents live. Tommy Sr. and Mama Tommy. And he always wanted to be a 49er. Shanahan gets him in 1 year. Boom. 49ers, their defense is stout, led by Bosa. Their offense, good young wide receivers. Kittle, are you kidding me? He's probably right. He's right there with Kelsey. It's between him and Kelsey as the best tight ends. I'll give it to Kelsey because he's got the Super Bowls and he catches fucking touchdowns every fucking game. But you put Tom Brady on that team right now, they win the Super Bowl. Hands down. So I can see that. There's been rumors of Miami because Tom lives in Florida. Giselle lives in Miami. You know, he's in Tampa and she's in Miami. and the kids are there. And Miami is a team that in the AFC, if they had Tom Brady, could make a push for the Super Bowl easily and represent the AFC. So he could take a team from the AFC to the Super Bowl and the Dolphins, or he could take a team from the NFC and the 49ers to the Super Bowl. So fucking it's good to be fucking Tom Brady, right? And, you know, Miss Kate always tells me, she goes, well, he should be with his kids and retire. But I say, he's probably going, fuck you, Giselle. You didn't want me to play. Now I'm going to just keep playing. So stick that in your vagina. Um, and I get it. Hey, he wants to play. He can play. At 40 fucking 5 years old, the dude can play still better than most in the fucking league. Why stop if you can do it? Um, but yeah, so that'll be interesting. Uh, other than that, I would just like to say that everybody just take care of yourselves and love one another because shit is real and things are going bad fast. So, from the Jambi Show, from me to you, God bless you. And there's the phone. We're going to have to edit that goodbye. Peace out.